I'm going to show you the editing capabilities on our Memory Craft 1000, and these same capabilities are on the Memory Craft 100E as well. When you're in your embroidery mode, you have your three choices of designs, your monogramming in letters, and your edit screen. Now, if I want to just pick a design and embroider, I can go right to my design tab. I could page through the different designs and pick something from the screen that I want to do today, and it will go right to my ready to sew screen. There it is. And all I have to do is hoop my fabric and attach my hoop, and off I go. If I wanted to take this into the edit screen, I would go back to my home, touch the edit screen, and now that design is over here in the edit screen. And once it's here, I can move it up and down. I can use the arrow keys down below here to fine-tune it by moving it up and down. And there's other tools along here. One of them is a resize. This one here, it has a little paper, and when you open it, you hit the plus to make it bigger. So I can bring it up 20% larger or make it 20% smaller. We'll leave it that large. This is the copy paste, and when you touch copy paste, it makes a copy right on top of the one you already have. So you always have to remember when you use copy paste to touch your design right afterwards to see is the copy there. In this case, I don't need two rainbows, so I'm going to use the trash can here. The top one is selected, and the trash can will take that away. When you scroll down, there's some other tools in here. My rotate is in here, so I can rotate by 45 if I want to have my rainbow on the edge somehow, or maybe the other direction. And it's graying out right now because it's slightly outside of the hoop. So the machine is pretty smart. It won't let me use this design to stitch because it's outside our hoop. I would just need to move it slightly up, and it goes back to the colored look, and it's ready to go. So let's put it back in the center. We can also move it by 0.1, 1 degree, so you can fine-tune your rotation. Once you're done, always select OK, or it'll go back to the original. So we're going to select OK. We have some mirror images here. So if I wanted to flip my rainbow and make it more of a smile, I could do that. And I could flip it left to right as well. This is a centering key with the heart in the center, so it makes my design come right to the center. That way, if I need to add things around it, I have plenty of room for that. This one is copy to 4 corners, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. As we go down, we have our Sew as One Color and our Save. So let's go back up, and the copy to 4 corners, I'm going to go get another design and show you how to copy it to 4 corners. So to bring in any design here, I would go back to my home, would go to my design tab, and then I can pick another design, and I'm going to go to this little design here, and I'm going to go pick the butterfly that is on, let's see where I see, I'll pick the ladybug. And then I'm going to move the ladybug right up here, and I'm going to touch the copy to 4 corners, and it automatically puts my ladybug around my rainbow. This is really handy because it puts things in the same direction away from the edges. If you need to turn these because they're all pointing a little bit differently, I can always rotate them with that rotate key I have up here. So I could bring them around so they all point in if I wanted to, but I know they're staying in the same amount of space away from the edge of my hoop, so it looks even all the way around. Once I have this design, and make sure again that you touch your OK, once my design is ready to go, I'll just touch the OK, and it'll go right to my Ready to Sew screen. But once I get it there, I might want to add lettering. So again, I can go use the Go Back tab right up here, the arrow, and it takes me back to my Edit screen, and I can go to my Lettering tab. So back to your Home key, touch your Lettering tab. Now we have a lot of different fonts in here. We have Gothic, Script, Cheltenham, Bauhaus, Gallant, Typist, Brush, First Grade, which is kind of my fun one, and Hollowbrook, Jupiter, and a Micro Gothic and some European fonts. This Micro Gothic is a very tiny font. It's great to use on cuffs or above a little pocket for a man's shirt. And when you use this font, you should use a size 9 needle and a 60 weight thread because it's a real tiny font and it's beautiful, stitches beautifully. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to use the Bauhaus here. So you select your font, and once you're in the font window, you have choices here whether you want your letters to go across or down your hoop, and we're just going to go across. We can always rotate them. Here's your sizing, so we have small, medium, and large, and we're going to go with the medium. And if I want to start with an uppercase or lowercase letter, I can touch right here and it toggles between those two things. I can page through here to find the end of my alphabet, some numbers, and some punctuation that's on here. And then we go into some European lettering on there. So let's go back up here. And I have a rainbow in there, so I'm going to put in here, maybe we'll start with the letter R. I'm going to go to lowercase. I'm going to put rain, and then I want a space between that and my next word. I'm going to go ahead and hit the arrow to come to the second page. There's two spaces, a wide space and a narrow, and I just need the narrow one. I'm going to go back and I'm going to type rain again. And then I'm going to touch OK because I want to put this in several different lines. So once I have my first line in, I can touch OK. There it is. And I'm going to move it right up here near the top, it's on top of my rainbow, and that's OK here. It says rain, rain, and I'm going to go back into lettering. So I go down here to my home key, back to lettering. It goes back to the one I was at last, which is fine. I could pick a different font if I wanted to. And then on this one, I'm going to start with a capital letter again, and I'm going to say, we could all guess, I'm going to put in here go, and then a space. Maybe I need a big space for this. Go back to the lettering here. And after a while, you'll figure out and be more comfortable with transferring between how many letters are available on each screen, so it makes your smoother to go back and forth. And I put, so rain, rain, go away. Go away is my second line. And I'm just going to bring that one down here. Now when you're typing your letters, you may max out the amount of letters that will fit across your hoop. So if I'm just going to put in the A's so you can hear what happens. The machine will tell you with a little beep like that, that's as far as you can go with those letters. And if I wanted to delete any, I would touch my trash can. Or if I needed to delete one in the center there, I would use the arrow key here to go back, and it highlights the letters. And when I find the one I need to delete, it's highlighted. I can hit the, I have to go back to it. That highlighted, I could put in a letter there, or we'll go back here and look at that. Whoops, this way. If I want to put something in place of that letter, such as the letter C, it will replace it in there before my A. So you can go back and forth with the letter, with your arrows here to fix your letters up here, and then you can delete with your little trash can on the side. Let's go back and look at our rain, rain, go away. If I needed to make any more changes to this, I can, of course, move things around. If I wanted to work with my letters and do lettering art, I would use my ABC tab here. That opens up the curve where I can curve something up or down, and then I can also stretch out my letters or push them closer together. These look pretty good the way they are, but I do want to arch the top one, so I'm going to touch my letters, so it picks up my word. I'm trying to see if I can see the little green boxes all around there. And now when I touch the curve, I can make my letters curve. So they kind of go along the same as the rainbow. And then the go away, I could do it in the other direction. the things that are selected are the things that are going to be used with the tool on the side. There's a bit of a green box that goes around the ones that you're choosing, and you can just go around and touch the ones you want and make the changes to those. I may stretch this one out just a little bit. There we go. And it will only let you go so far. It's going to give me a little audible beep because you cannot go outside of this area. That's outside your stitch area. So we'll bring it back in just a little bit. Now I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to touch OK. I may want to save this because maybe I'm not going to stitch it right now. So I'm going to come down here till I see my folder with the arrow going in. And this is our save area. I can save to my machine, or if I had a USB stick in my machine, there would be the USB stick highlighted and I could choose it. I'm going to save it into the built-in. I'll name it right here. And I'm just going to call it Rain. And then you want to touch OK here. And then OK again, and that saves it. So to see that in the saves, down here is our folder with the arrow going out. So you could select that. And it opens up the saved area. I don't see anything here, and I didn't put it in a folder, but I know I have a second page. I just page over, and here are the designs that are saved on that page. And here's our rain right there. I have some other things saved in here as well. And when I touched that, it copied right on top of the one that's there. So this is a little bit of a mess. I would have to use my, I don't want to say okay, I would have to use my trash can to delete all those parts I don't want till I got back to my rain go away. There we go. This is how you use some of the tools on our editing screen.